In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Nothic is described as a one-eyed, almost voyeuristic aberration that tended to lurk in places with high concentration of magical energy and knowledge, something for which they eternally craved. Said to be the result of a curse befalling magic practitioners who delved too deeply into esoteric arcane knowledge, the Nothics have an AC of 15 and 45 hit points, and a speed of 30. They have a +2 in strength, a +3 in dex, a +3 in con, a +1 in intellect, a 0 in wisdom, and a -1 in charisma, possibly due to being deranged and none too good to look at. Surprisingly, they have training in Arcana, Insight, Perception, and Stealth, with a +5 in Stealth being the most important in combat. They have True Sight up to 120 feet, allowing them to see through illusions, and have a passive perception of 12, giving them a challenge rating of 2. They also have advantage on all sight-based perception checks, and have a multi-attack consisting of 2 claws. The claw has a +4 to hit and deals 1d6 + 3 damage, a potential of 4 to 9 per hit, and 8 to 18 total. They have another action called Rotting Gaze, in which they target a creature, triggering a DC 12 con save. On a failure, the target takes 3d6 necrotic damage, a potential of 3 to 18. Interestingly enough, the Nothic also has an ability called Weird Insight, in which it rolls an insight check versus its target's deception check. If it wins, it learns a secret about the creature. This would only really be useful in RP settings, perhaps if the villain of the area uses Nothics as spies, or as gatherers of blackmail for political manipulations. It'd be interesting to have a party walk into the villain's lair and find that they already know everything that drives the party, and what to offer for their allegiance or mercy. As a DM, I would run Nothics in a dungeon related to arcane study, such as an arcane school or library that has been overrun by aberrations and other creatures of madness. I would position one Nothic just within sight, skulking through a room but not staying in sight long enough to be a good target, forcing my players into tighter quarters. Once my players have closed the gap with this luring Nothic, I would have 2 or 3 more of them descend from the shelves, or spring from darker corners, attacking the party from all angles. I would have Nothics target melee creatures with their claws, as tankier classes are likely to have high constitution. I would then have at least one Nothic targeting ranged casters with its Rotting Gaze up close, hoping that they roll really low on their saving throw. Like many lower CR creatures, I would have at least 2 gang up on the casters with one shooting its Rotting Gaze, and then have them all whittle away at the tankier players once the healers and ranged players are down. As with most aberrations in Dungeons & Dragons, the Nothic is likely inspired by general Lovecraftian horror, typically the result of wizards and arcane practitioners who delve too deeply into arcane lore, or view things in the far realm. The Nothic is a twisted being of flesh and madness that seeks to spread its new form as far as it can. This is standard aberration behavior. What I find most interesting is that some D&D sourcebooks and adventures include a mention of arcane wards or traps, set up by necromancers and liches like Vecna and Acererak that could transform wizards foolish enough to enter their domain into these creatures. 5th edition expanded on the types of Nothics, but didn't expand much on their lore, choosing instead to keep them as a simple, creepy little Lovecraftian mystery. If you enjoyed that video, consider giving it a like and giving me a follow. And for more of my videos, you can find me on Twitch @Moglaroo, YouTube @Moglaroo Streams, and TikTok @Moglaroo Streams as well.